Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. I'm blown away, Lindsay, by the amount of people, Auburn people outside of Auburn aren't talking this way about Jackson Arnold's performance against Ball State. I'm blown away by how much of the fan base is being negative about Jackson Arnold and Auburn's overall performance against Ball State. I don't know if they wanted to just win by more. I don't know if it was because the team wasn't perfect. I mean, you had a historic outing defensively, and then you had Jackson Arnold have one of the most efficient passing nights in Auburn quarterback history. One more completion, I think, would have broken the record for that. 24 for 28, 251 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns. You took care of the football. Like, I just don't fully understand what we're doing. The idea that Jackson Arnold and this Auburn offense with a bunch of new pieces, 2 new starting tackles, Eric Singleton, who missed some of fall camp, like still getting acclimated, running backs who are still kind of figuring out their roles with all of this. I mean, the list could go on. Horatio. I mean, we could go on and on here. The idea that people want to finish in perfect product week 2 is amazing to me. And you look throughout college football, and there were similar teams. There were teams that were better than Auburn that struggled and didn't dominate. And it's just I don't feel like you see this a lot of places. Georgia didn't dominate Austin Peay on the scoreboard. LSU, I think they played Louisiana Tech, I believe. Like, they didn't blow them out. And so to me, it's just, I don't understand what people want here. We all agreed that the best way to handle this game and next weekend's game going into Ball State was, let's use this as an opportunity to get better as a football team, to push Jackson Arnold, and like, let's do things we're not as good at that are perceived weaknesses in a game. And that's what they did over and over and over again. And I just don't get the response to it. It's blowing me away, Lindsay.
I mean, listen, there were an entire 4 completions that he did not make. I mean, this is clearly washed. Okay, listen. This was an NFL this is an NFL passer rating of 139.7. If you were curious on how this translates,
to passer rating is not a real stat, but if you think it is, you should be thrilled.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Here's the thing. If you I kind of feel like this is a little bit our fault, and I'm not saying our as in Locked On Auburn or you or me or whatever. I think it's more of, we've hyped up these receivers and we've hyped up Hugh Freeze's past with the passing game, that there's a certain subset of people, and the people who automatically are just anti, Hugh Freeze or whatever, and are doing these things. It's kind of just a circle.
Yeah.
But they were never going to be happy because the stuff that they heard was that these 2 receivers are both prime Randy Moss, and Jackson Arnold's a former 5-star, and anything short of passing for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns is a disappointment. And I think the right perspective to have here is, you would have killed a human being to have this stat line in any game last year. 24-28 for 251 and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions, no lost fumbles. You would have murdered somebody to have the stat line in any game last year. And there's a couple games, if you had the stat line, you probably pick up 3 additional wins.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's a total yardage thing. I mean, you had 3 running back runs that were just
45 yards.
Yeah, that just popped off, right? And so that's going to end scoring drives quickly. And so that's going to be part of it. And for the folks that are saying Jackson Arnold's holding onto the football too long, you are correct in some instances. That's something, but that's why we're doing this. let's put it on tape. Let's let them coach it. And thankfully, Auburn's offensive line held on long enough for him to deliver the football. Like, let's work on it. And some of it, I think, was on Jackson. And I think some of it was, and Hugh Freeze talked about it in the presser, like some of these were long, deeper, developing routes. Yeah. And that's going to be part of this. And I do think Auburn has an offensive line that's going to allow him to do that to some extent, probably not as consistently as what they did towards the end of the first half against Ball State. But once again, like this assumption that everything needs to be a finished product in week 2 is just something that like I should have expected it, Lindsay. But like because the reasoning of, oh, well, Jackson's holding on to the ball too long. Okay, so the score doesn't matter to you. If Auburn would have won 60-3, it doesn't matter to you because because he held on to the football too long on a few plays in a row. Like, okay, all right. They're like, there's no pleasing you at that point. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get why you want to be a fan and that's your approach.
They're not actually fans. They're not actually fans. They say they are.
Yeah, they just follow the team. They're not actually fans.
They're not fans. They follow the team.
Maybe
there's a difference here.
Maybe
there's a difference. But I mean, it's exhausting. One, some of them may just be mad because Auburn did not cover. Which I got a text from somebody who was like, "Bro, how come your Tigers didn't cover?" I'm like, "Bro, they won by 39 points. We're not mad down here."
Yeah, the line was 43.5. They won by 39. They missed a field goal that they probably should have made. That's put you at 42. Like, that's what Vegas thought was going to happen. So,
which shout out to Vegas, they nailed that one.
Yeah, they have big buildings for a reason. But I don't know, dude. Like the whole, let's just find every way possible to hate on Jackson Arnold is just getting so old. It's getting so old. But
and I think some of it's just proxy for hating on Hugh Freeze or hating on the team for what they've put us through the last couple of seasons, which again, not the team's fault, not the program's fault. It's really just the last coach and then the struggles of this one. But whatever. I think it's just some people who are just angry. They're going to be angry no matter what. You can't please them. Let's stop listening to them. Let's be thrilled that Auburn's the best football team in the state of Alabama. By record, they are.
Yeah, by record, sure. Not by the AP poll, but Auburn is ranked. Auburn's ranked now. What does that mean? And also other thoughts from Saturday coming up right here on Locked On Auburn.